Is depression taking your life in the wrong direction? Have you tried antidepressant after antidepressant, an hour after hour of counseling, but still struggle with the same old mood? Not wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to go to work, not wanting to be with your family. If this is your story, I want you to hear Miss Sandra's story, because she was where you are right now. And I hope her story will inspire you to try something different. Because you tried the traditional means, you tried the medications, you tried the counseling, you tried to change your lifestyle, but you still don't feel that great. I was blessed enough to meet her a couple months ago, and she took the risk to do TMS therapy, and her results were amazing. And I want you to hear her story from her. So without further ado, Miss Sandra. Tell me a little bit about like how you were feeling and what you were struggling with when we first started working together.
Okay. Well, I was a ship going down. I mean, totally. And I was not functioning. I had a hard time getting out of bed, taking a shower, doing personal things, and that was scary.
Yes.
I believe my faith helped save me at that time, but it was getting harder and harder.
Right.
And we tried many medicines, and each one had its own individual side effect. And especially, at my age, you normally, if you need to take blood pressure medicine or some other medicine for another something you have, you start wondering, oh my gosh, I'm taking all these different pills. Which makes it harder on your doctor. And that's scary. So when you mentioned the TMS, I got to a point that I really didn't want to go on, and I wanted to try TMS so badly. Yeah.
So I'm very appreciative and that you trusted me enough to take the chance to do the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of your fears that you had about the treatment or concerns you had about it before you started it?
Well, would it hurt? And would it change my mind or make me someone that I'm not, or all those questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I found out it doesn't hurt. It really felt like stimulation, like if you've ever had your shoulders stiff and ache everything, and you ask someone finally, could you rub my shoulders, and you get that feeling. Well, that's a little bit how your head feels without going into the science of really TMS really works, but it feels like it's a good stimulation, and afterwards you feel so peaceful and relieved that you're able to drive, do errands, work, anything.
Awesome, very good. So you're saying it didn't change your mind or change who you were as a person?
No.
Of course not.
No.
Right?
No.
Now, so when you first started the treatment, and we did your motor threshold with your thumb and everything.
Right.
When you first started, did you have any discomfort with the treatment, or was it uncomfortable when it was tapping when we first started?
I just, not having a lot of experience with different things medically, I've been fortunate through my life. I had a little bit of startling, but inside me wanted to try so badly, it was just a matter of finding out that it doesn't hurt.
Now, before we started the video, you kind of told me about William, your treater,
kind of working with you. I'm guessing you probably had Sarah sometimes as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What was your experience like as far as like coming and how people treated you when you came?
Oh, it's like family. It's like I love them. They'll always be a part of my heart. Always. It's you just know one. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. In fact, you go to another doctor and everything is so different. You say, "Oh, I wish Dr. DeBose could do everything in his office." I wish that he could treat me for everything, which he probably could, but he's specialized.
Well, thank you. I wish I could treat you for everything, because I see you as family too. I really, for you, just as much as everyone else, I really treat you like I want to treat my family member, my mom, my sister. Because I think what we've lost in psychiatry is just genuine care for people, and people need to be nurtured. So I really hope that you felt nurtured and cared for while you've been in our office.
Totally.
Awesome.
Totally.
Now, so tell me a little bit about like what type of results did you get from the treatment? Like, what did you notice to be different for you?
I didn't want to get back in that bed. That was a big thing for me. I made my bed every morning and came from my treatment, and afterwards I didn't want to get back in that bed until it was bedtime. That was a big thing for me. And it's not like you don't still have bad things or hurtful things or pain, things like that in your life. You're just able to handle things better. I will say that my faith has become stronger through it. There's a opening in your heart. I don't know how to describe it other than someone had brought you here, and I feel it was someone above that saw me through the struggles. I mean, I've had struggles all my life with this, and I've not felt better.
Wow.
I really haven't.
Don't make me cry.
No.
Well, I'm very, very pleased by your response to the treatment. And, I think that whenever I work with one of the clients and they've been struggling with it for so long, when you start, I'm just praying so much that you'll get the result that we want and that we prayed for.
Right.
And I'm just so glad that you've been delivered, and
Yes.
that, to me, what's even more important that you feel better is that you feel that your faith is strengthened even more.
Yes, it is.
And that's very powerful. And I really appreciate you
Yeah.
going through the treatment
Yeah.
and us having this opportunity to talk today.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What's next for you?
Well, it's the Lord's plan, not mine, but I'm following. Things are going along well. For years I couldn't make a decision on selling a house, and my dad passed, and that's happened, and now my own little house has sold, and it's going to close soon. So the Lord is bringing me to Virginia Beach, and it's just everywhere. I mean, TMS awakes you. I used to thank God for a good parking space here and there, but now you wake up and you thank Him for everything. So I guess I give thanks to the Lord when things get hard, and things are going to continue to get hard for anyone. We're human. You strengthen the Lord. You have the strength of the Lord. I have a church. I went went to a wedding in April, which you know about, my granddaughters. And so I'm on a first name basis with another pastor. And so I will be active in the church. My daughter initially, but hadn't visited, it would be an adult community I was going to go in. And she went and she started crying. She says, "Mom, you're not ready for that." So I'm getting a townhome, which is 1.4 miles away, so I have my own door and, you know, my own life. But that's where it's going forward, you know. But it's the Lord. I mean, He saw initially last October I had that surgery. I was asleep when everything came out. Sometimes we don't realize how bad we are until it's too late, as far as your life. And I was one of them. And, you know, I went for counseling and behavior, and that's how I've been brought to you, Dr. DeBose, and my therapist, Gina Votion. And there's no way, unless the Lord had His hand in all this, I wouldn't have heard about it. I would have still been taking medicines and a doctor half listening to you, and, you know, it's just, I'm just grateful.
Well, I can definitely see the change in you. You know, that was very powerful. What I heard from you is just like the trajectory that your life was on as you were struggling with your depression was almost assisted living or a nursing home, and now you're moving to a townhouse. You know, that's a big change. That's a really big change. So I'm just thankful that we had opportunities to help you with that a little bit. I just want to thank you for taking the time to do this interview.
Okay.
And I just pray continued prosperity.